Hello, here's a quick tour of the Vox Valvetronics AD60VTX. The amp has a small problem with the power switch. I had to remove the amp. So here's what's left inside. It's a original speaker. It's 12-inch. It's the Vox Celestion New Dog speaker. Love this speaker, no problem with that. And then up here is the back of the amplifier. I bought this combo amp back in 2013. When I used it, it was fantastic, and it's still fantastic. It just has a bad power switch. That's the way I bought it. That's the reason why I also got a very good deal on this back in 2013. So this amp has been in storage for, I don't know, 8-9 years. Pulled it out recently and found out or realized that it was always fantastic. I just didn't get to know the amp well enough to use it enough to be able to use those pedals and those modeling amps enough to fully appreciate it. And now that I've pulled it out of storage, I kind of hate myself for not using it previously. I just recently got back into playing and said, why are you not using this amp? Alright, so there's two reasons, maybe three, I'm showing you this video. The power switch was bad, no big deal, but what I found when I pulled this out, the original switch, is, looky there, there's a huge chunk of the body of the switch just missing, and it wasn't found inside, so I think Vox actually used this broken switch when they assembled the amp. I mean, it was definitely original, because this heat shrink just showed the age, and it was highly doubtful that that was replaced between the time it was built and I found the amp and owned it since. So just two wires onto that switch, and even though it has 4 terminals, it's still just 2 terminals in the end. It's a single pole, single throw, and that's the replacement switch that I just bought. I'm about to install that switch, and across the original switch was this safety cap, and the cap did not show its capacitance value, but it did show this information. I never really found that exact cap online, doesn't matter, but I did measure the cap value to be 8.6 nanofarads. And over here is the meter that I used to measure the capacitance of the original cap. And then here is the switch. Came with 2 that I bought, and that's pretty much it. I'm about to install a new switch, but the real reason I'm showing you this amp is twofold. All right, number one, so this is a very unique amp. It has a single tube. It is a 12AX7, and that's the socket right there, and I'll show you the bottom side in a second. But one thing I wanted to show you is that these tie-down straps, there were so many of them, and they were pulling so very hard on these small ancillary wires across the amp that they were about to pull the wire out of these sockets. It was horrible to see it. So I had to cut them off in, again, about 5 spots, and relieve the pressure, and I'll tidy it up as I'm doing that replacement. So, going back, the other reason I'm showing you this amp is because if you, hold on a second. If you have this amp and you remove the back cover to find the speaker and the amp, what you will see is only really the bottom side. Now I've installed this roll of duct tape just to protect that little bit of tube that sticks out while I'm working on it, but it comes down to that tiny bit of tube sticking out. Most people cannot grab that and extract the tube. So I wish you luck if you do try that. I haven't tried it yet, so what do I know? Nothing. All right. So in here, you think, all right, so this amp is on your bench, and look at it. It's a tiny bit of space in there. And then there's a standoff on each side. Sorry about the video. On each side of the tube. So you can't grab the tube from this area. So if you need to help the tube get out and extract it, you have to come in over here. And that isn't enough room. So you need this angle. So to get in there and assist the tube out, I would suggest you take that transformer out, and then you'll be able to grab that tube and take it out. Obviously, you'll have to have pliers with padding to make sure you don't damage the tube. All right, that's it. It's the Vox AD60VTX. Take care. See ya. Bye.